to make sure I'm live first. Sure that this watches. Hi. Is there somebody down there? Oh, my headphones. I knew they fell back. What? Come on. Nah. That was not even slightly like being hidden. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you know what? Actually, okay. I need to do something. But I need to first off post on Blue Sky, and then I'm going to take. I know it's like very early to do a quick break, but I have a. I'm just gonna do it, and then we'll be. Okay, so. What? Why? Why do you? Okay. So I don't know if anybody. I don't know if I can't like show this, but so there was like beeping going on. So Eugene has been. I guess there's a battery under here that like controls the standing desk. Like it goes. Oh, it's now unplugged. Dude, fuck you. Plug this back in. So like, goes up, goes down. Why do you pick that cable to pull on? That one. Why? Why? All right. what is it? It's Shipathon. Alright, I need to. There's something on my phone that I need to deal with before I start, so unfortunately, I'll have to take a break even before we start. But I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I just need to fill some forms in. So I had to rush upstairs because I know I was starting soon, and I know we were gonna do like a. Oh my goodness! Don't do that. So I know we were gonna do like a coding stream, and that is the plan. But what I want to talk about, something happened. Zuckerberg said a bunch of bullshit. Fuck, what was the... I like read through... It's like the future is for everyone. About Facebook. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a different thing than I normally do. A, because I'm very tired and I'm just kind of figuring out how today's going to look. But also, why can't I see myself yet on the UpTubs? Public, premium. But there was an article that Senior Zuck put up. There we go. Am I just like not live? Can somebody confirm that I am live? I know that's not really how this works. All right. All right. Just need, why is the UpTubs? There we go. All right. So there was an article that I mean, I guess it was posted August 10th, but I'm gonna try like a little reaction thingy here, and then we're gonna go into programming. But like this, I looked into a little bit of this, and it seemed insane to me within the first like couple things. So we are fortunate to live in an incredible moment in history. In the next few years, people will be able to use superintelligence beyond human capacity to create and discover extraordinary new things. I know I'm doing the Primogen thing. I know. But like the thing he does where he reads through, like it's just good. Discover extraordinary new things, build new businesses, express. I also like that build new businesses is the first thing that is mentioned, not express new ideas or new concepts and advance health and quality of life. Build new businesses is the first thing on the list. As we get closer to this moment, it's important to develop a philosophy for how we can best use superintelligence to ensure it improves all our lives, work, communities, freedom, and safety. Again, I want to really focus on that was the first thing in the list. Build new businesses. I guess like the idea that I really want to focus on there is like build new businesses is local businesses, blah blah blah, but like which is like business being the focus versus ideas, learning, and health. We propose a philosophy based on individual empowerment as the source of prosperity, invention as the primary purpose of superintelligence, balance of power and foundation of safety. All of the technologies create opportunities, and all new technologies create opportunities and challenges. Sure. Superintelligence will be among the most important technologies in history. Superintelligence will be among the most important technologies in history. That's definitely an assertion, right? So its opportunities and challenges will likely be greater than we've seen in our lifetimes. All new technologies create opportunities and challenges. Superintelligence will be among the most important technologies in history. So he's asserting this. So its opportunities and challenges will likely be greater. I think that's a jump. The opportunities and challenges will likely be greater than any we've seen in our lifetimes. Anyways, yeah. We should take this very seriously. I agree with that. But there is a push towards that it is good, and then so therefore it's going to be greater, right? Like, this exists, therefore it is great. It is going to be greater, right? Which is, that's fine. There's just nothing ahead of here that there's a lot of assumptions happening. Anyways, there's a lot of scrolling happening on this page. Still, it is surprising that the discourse from many developing AI is so filled with doom. I do not understand why anyone believes that AI would eliminate most jobs, because you did, and much of humanity's relevance would rush to build that future. You know what he did, right? The notion that AI is so dangerously dangerous that the only safe path is an extreme concentration of power. I don't think that's what anyone said. Seems incoherently problematic. So, like, I agree with that statement. The notion that AI is so dangerous, the only safe path is an extreme concentration of power. Like, democratize it. That's that's what I would like. That's why I use local AI or open code. I don't use any of the. I use some of them sometimes, mostly like Gemini for like Googling, but anyways, that's a whole separate video that I've been thinking about. That anyways, stay tuned for a like how DPAL uses AI and like a thing about that. Historically, hoping that an absolute power will benevolently provide for humanity if sufficiently enlightened, has not led to safe or positive outcomes. So he's like, hoping that an absolute power is he like he's definitely like saying like AI and like God. Hoping that an absolute power, so like some God, absolute power will benevolently provide for humanity if sufficiently enlightened. If I'm reading into this correctly, it sounds like he's saying that AI is a god. That I don't agree with this, by the way. He is saying AI is a god, that those who know how to use it, it will benevolently provide for them. Oh wait, no, has not led to safe or positive. I should have finished that. Sorry. I'm wrong. Don't clip that. Humanity has witnessed many transformative advances. Each time there is fear that people will be left behind. Each time humanity has come out with more people sharing greater prosperity, health, and freedom. We believe that this will be true with AI as well. The abundance of the future will be shared by everyone. We also believe that the values that got us to this point, like liberty, often inquiry, free enterprise, and equal opportunity, are also the right values to build a positive future. Humanity has witnessed many transformative advances. Each time there's a fear that people will be left behind, but each time humanity has come out with more people sharing greater I mean, I think I believe if you look at history, the people that come out of it are usually the wealthy. There's also just like a certain maybe I don't want to say wealthy, but just like yeah, I'll say that. True AI as well, with the abundance of the future. This just seems this is somebody that looks at like transformative advances as like I was reading an article recently. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up, but like these transformative advances usually happened at like a oligarchy type of situation. Where a lot of people controlled like very specific resources and then push something forward. And then whether or not it was good for the people is is, you know, pros or cons for each one. Anyways, we believe this will be true with AI as well. Like liberty, open inquiry. We also believe that the values that got us to this point, like liberty, open inquiry, free enterprise, and equal opportunity, are also the right values to build a positive future. I mean, sure, yes, okay. Putting power in people's hands to pursue their own aspirations is how humanity has made the most progress. Sure. Novel ideas and major steps forward rarely originate from established institutions alone. They came from brothers in a bicycle shop who believed it could fly, bookbinder's apprentice with no schooling who figured out how to generate electricity, the kid in a garage who thought personal computers could be for everyone. We believe that this will continue to be true. As everyone gains more powerful tools, each person will become more capable of shaping the future, not less. I don't think that this is a correct... Let me think about why I don't believe this is a correct assertion, right? Like, so putting power in people's hands to pursue their own aspirations, sure. Power to the people. Right? Novel ideas and major steps forward originate from Novel ideas and major steps forward rarely originate from established institutions alone. Sure. That's a throwaway sentence. Who cares? He like so obviously wrote this. Anyways, they came from the brothers in a bicycle shop who believed they could fly. Ideas and steps forward rarely originate from established. I don't understand this paragraph. Putting power in people's hands to pursue their own aspirations is how humanity has made the most progress. Novel ideas and major steps forward rarely originate from established institutions, so they don't originate from institutions. Yet, they come from brothers. Okay, so this is power to the people. We believe this will continue to be true as everyone gains more powerful tools, each person will become more capable. There's a bunch of... Okay. I feel like there's a lot of things that are coming into my mind from like previous paragraphs, and I'm trying to like treat each paragraph as its own argument. And invention, not automation, will be the great contribution of superintelligence. Okay, here we go. Early AI could answer questions and do routine work. Soon it will increasingly help discover new knowledge, ranging from discovering new drugs to cure a family. Okay, so like actually finding new ways to improve your business. That's all he cares about. Sorry, that's an assumption. While the number of questions a person can ask in a day is limited, the number of valuable things superintelligent can invent is it's very limited. Like very limited. like it's limited. So the number of valuable things superintelligence can invent to help achieve your goals is unlimited. This is from this kind of thing is from like a capitalist mindset, where maybe not capitalist. It's from a mindset. Let me not sorry. Ignore that I said capitalist. It is from a mindset of somebody who cannot create. It is from a mindset of someone who thinks that the frame of creation is just like scope of knowledge versus like experience. Oh my god, how long is this? There's no way I'm making it all the way through this. Okay, I did not realize how long this was. As intelligence becomes abundant, the most important question... intelligence is already very abundant. The most important question will be how we direct it. By letting people think. Some argue that superintelligence itself, or a small set of experts who control it, should decide what is best for humanity. We disagree. Sure. Cool. The history of democracy and economics has shown that there is no single objective answer to how people define the best life. Okay? We believe that delivering superintelligence to everyone is the way... Sorry. I skipped a thing that I read in my head. There's no single objective answer to how people define their best life. Therefore, the best approach is letting people decide what matters in their own lives. We believe that delivering superintelligence to everyone is the way to answer this question. This follows tradition of putting the power of supercomputers and the internet in everyone's pockets and on our desks. Rather than centralizing superintelligence, we should distribute it widely, give every person the ability to direct it. This has the potential to begin a new era of personal empowerment where individuals can use this powerful new capability. Oh my god, I hate saying this. Pursue their interests and improve their lives. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna end this at the premise, because I do want to get some stuff done today. That understands you, because like I realized how long this is, and your agent will work 24/7 on your behalf and improve your relationships, health, career, finances, home, and no hobbies and more. Hobbies are how you express yourself. No. I thought like, oh my goodness, this was like, hey, we should make this like super available to everybody because like, hey, there's some cool benefits. And then like, I thought like, hey, let's move on to something else. And then it went right off the rails. Like there's no rails anymore. Like home management, you know, so there's like a thing that I've done for for many years where I've tried to like smart homify our home, right? Like I have smart switches everywhere. I have smart bulbs wherever possible, but like I want them to save me. There's like micro thinking, then there's like macro thinking. I don't even know how to describe this right now, but like I'm trying to save myself thinking in that like, oh hey, if I leave the den and I go to bed and I lay down in bed and it's like shit, I didn't turn the den light off. Well, it's gonna go off in 30 seconds. Like I know that, right? Versus like I know that I've set that up. Versus like, oh my goodness, I don't have to think about relationships, health, career, finances, home management, and hobbies. Like not to. Like what are the hobbies? What are the hobbies that you're trying to automate? Like maybe your hobby is automation, and that's fine. But like but isn't the whole point about a hobby is that you like dive in and free up time to things for the things you enjoy, like hobbies, and help you accomplish more than you could otherwise. Well, strong privacy security options. Access your information similar to how I need to. Okay, I'm sorry. Agent flags, interesting. My agent flags interesting information and helps me prototype ideas. Helps me keep healthy by monitoring my sleep. And then watches as I train and give feedback. My daughter loves to bake, so my agent plans personalized recipes for us to make together each weekend. Isn't the whole like my favorite part of cooking? I don't bake. Because like when I cook, I don't bake in that way. But like when I cook, I am throwing in ingredients that I feel like are going to be good, right? So like having, like, why don't you, like, I'm not trying to be a parent, but like, let her explore baking, right? Like, add more flour, add more whatever, add more, reduce this, add more butter, right? Like, have fun. I mean, I know that's not necessarily how baking works, but just having it prescribed for you without like exploring it seems so. Everyone have incredible tools for creation to express your ideas. My 8-year-old daughter has already coded her ideas, can already code her ideas and produce videos in an evening that would have taken me months or been impossible previously. Sure. Now we're designing a robot together. Meanwhile, researchers at Meta are generating novel crystal structures that are ideal for augmented reality glasses, and engineers are creating new apps in a fraction of the time it would have taken before. Everyone will soon have invention superpowers. I think this is a, like, I agree with this, but this is not like the Gen AI. Blah, blah, blah. Getting a little tired. This is like ML. New businesses, economy will become more entrepreneurial. That's another way of saying that everyone's gonna be fired. No, I'm not. I don't believe that that is the case. I believe that like we're seeing a shift where people are being let go because of AI, and then we're gonna see a pullback because it just can't do the things that he is thinking well, unless you pay millions of dollars. Right? Unless you have that crazy subscription that he probably does where it's infinite. People are starting to be able to manifest ideas themselves without having to raise money or build large teams. Again, in his sphere, many ideas that would have been too hard or expensive to try before will now be possible. Many ideas that have been too hard. I don't think too hard. I think the difficulty is I don't think the difficulty of the software is going to. I think the scope of the software will increase, but like the difficulty will still have a limit on human knowledge. Like that's always going to be the case. Or expensive, and that's another thing, right? Like expense has decreased, right? So like if I can build an app to, I mean I've been vibe coding some like Stream Deck plugins, which one broke today. Hey, but they're just like plugins that I just throw out into the universe, and I don't really care about, right? Like if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. Then I manually do it, right? The way that I've been doing it before. Much greater economic growth, mostly for you. This means that we'll see many more ideas and businesses. I don't know about that. We've already seen a lot of ideas. Businesses might increase, but ideas are cheap and execution is expensive, and I don't think AI can properly execute without spending an obscene amount of money, and I still don't even believe that I can do it then. Also more employment over time rather than less. I predict this will not only lead to much greater economic growth, but also more employment over time rather than less. More employment over time. I don't know what that means. I don't know what this means. With a PhD in every subject. That this premise I disagree with. And unlimited patience to help you learn anything you want. Students will have extra help. This is just okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop here because like this is just growing into. It's just delusion. Students will have extra help in areas where they need it that is currently only available to whose parents can pay. I mean, I guess the premise is that everybody has access. Adults, adults will have a super intelligent learning assistant that knows exactly how to teach you new job skills, new languages, new hobbies, or anything else you're interested in. Everyone will benefit from scientific advances and be able to contribute to scientific progress. For example, BioHub has already shipped open source biological models related to virtual cells and proteins that are helping scientists make new discoveries and design new drugs. Cool. When Priscilla and I started this work, our goal was to help scientists cure and prevent all diseases this century. Sure, ML is great for that stuff. Since there's a long tail of health conditions and everybody's biology is different, people's direct involvement will help unlock personalized therapies and expedite trials. Beyond biology, AI will help people advance research in every field by applying the scientific method of peer review and working over weeks and months to test and refine hypotheses. Everybody will have free or affordable access to these tools. For everyone to be part of the future, everyone must have the ability to use superintelligence. Okay. To improve their lives and shape their world. If the premise is that it will help everybody, sure. We'll offer free versions that will be accessible to billions of people. For those that want to pay more for compute, there it is. There it is. There will be a dynamic auction mechanism that will guarantee that everyone gets the lowest price possible or the highest price possible for the intelligence and compute they're using, also ensuring that capacity is used for whatever people collectively find most valuable. This will ensure the benefits of superintelligence are distributed widely. The more I read this, the more I read this, the more I kind of go insane. I want to stop because it's making me angry. And I want to just like go coding and like programming and not have to deal with this insanity. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue because I feel like this needs to be read. There are some of the main efforts that Meta's focus on. Each area advances the values of personal empowerment and contributes to a future where everyone has a greater role in shaping the world than today. It sounds like those that want to pay for more compute. Okay, so this is me being pessimistic, but like I don't believe this. Like, for those that want to pay for more compute, there will be a dynamic auction mechanism. The lowest price possible. It's just gonna skyrocket, right? Like he's building it's a buyer's market, right? Especially if you believe in this ideology, right? Like where if you buy into this intelligence, it will solve your life, right? So lowest price possible, the highest price for him. There are some main efforts that Meta's focused on. Each area advances the values of personal empowerment, contributes to the future, where everyone has a greater role in shaping the world today. Again, the ones that pay more. If these efforts succeed, then the future will be an abundance of personal agency, expression of ideas, the deepening of relationships, economic and financial prosperity, improved health, and inventions we cannot imagine today. There is so much to unpack here. Future will bring an abundance of personal agency. Most importantly, the future will be created by all of us and a reflection of all of our values and perspectives. So, my initial thoughts about this paragraph is that if these efforts succeed, then the future. So, like, how do I say this? It's like there's like a. I mean, the way it works is it's an amalgamation of information, right? Like that's a high level way of saying it, but like you put in a prompt that says like, hey, I want to get something, which is like the way an API request happens. But like you put in a prompt and it says like, hey, I want all this stuff. You get a vector that goes into the whatever, it comes back up, blah blah blah. But that response that you get is very heavily dependent on the model, right? And the day and information that was passed to it, right? So like personal agency. Like it depends on how the how the person puts in their information, I guess. Sure. Expression of ideas, deepening of relationships. I think that I don't that seems out of left field. I don't know where and inventions we cannot imagine today. But most importantly, the future will be created by all of us, and a reflection of all of our values and perspectives. Okay. Okay, I guess it's that like reflection of all of the values and perspectives, right? Like this idea that all of these things will be answered. I mean, I guess if everybody has like their own personal AI, then they get to like answer it each on their own, but it's the same way that, okay, so to me that feels very similar to like everybody has their own personal Instagram feed or everybody has their own personal Threads feed, right? Like you have a personal feed, but it's not, you don't control it. it's fed by like the metaverse. So like you might feel like you have personal agency, expression of ideas, deepening of relationships. The deepening of that one, anyways. But it's going to be fed by the information that you're only getting, anyways. At the same time, new technologies also bring new risks. There are many important concerns we are focused on addressing. Concerns about job displacement. I don't feel like he's concerned about job displacement at all. And ensuring local communities benefit from data center builds. The safety concerns around AI misuse related to cybersecurity and biorisk. To avoid government tyranny and surveillance, ensuring the US and democratic countries lead and ultimately making. Whoa. I was glossing over that. To safety concerns around AI misuse related to cybersecurity and biorisk. To avoiding government tyranny and surveillance. Ensuring the US and democratic countries lead, and ultimately making sure humanity maintains control over superintelligence so it serves rather than endangers us. There is avoiding government tyranny and surveillance, ensuring the US and democratic countries lead, and ultimately making sure humanity So, U.S. and democratic, non-U.S., non-democratic countries, not humanity. I think I'm doing a little bit of hyperbole there. Maintain control over superintelligence. That's just like anti. There's a lot of there's a lot of yeah, just flat out like, oh my goodness, communists. Boo. No, I do not clip that. I do not. I don't care. But like to flat out call that out. The conventional view is that these concerns are about technology, and if we take enough time, that we can perfect or align the technology to produce a single benevolent superintelligence. I think this view of alignment is fundamentally flawed. So do I. Humanity is not monocular. People's diverse values represent different trade-offs they would make on important issues. Sure. There's no technological solution that can align to everyone's opposing interests and values at once. Yes. Okay. Okay, yeah, I agree. I thought I read something different. Anyways, any singular superintelligence would have to prioritize some values over others in a process that would be incapable of being benevolent to everyone. Sure. Instead, we propose that it is more productive to view each of these concerns through the lens of achieving the right balance of power. As a Western society as in democratic governing institutions, people in institutions with competing interests naturally check and balance each other to lead. People in institutions with competing interests naturally check and balance each other to lead towards positive outcomes. The best and most realistic path towards building a positive AI future is by delivering superintelligence to everyone. As a thought experiment, imagine only one person as a super intelligent lawyer. They would have yeah, sure. But now imagine everyone as a super intelligent lawyer. Sure. Like that is a very reductive way of saying super. Like, yes, if you have the best lawyer, if you're assuming that super intelligence makes the best lawyer, then everybody would have the best lawyer. Similarly, if one person alone had a cybersecurity superintelligence, they could likely break into almost any technical system in the world. If someone had access to cybersecurity superintelligence, then all of our technical systems would become more secure today. Sure. Do I want to keep going? I don't think I should keep going. I can't keep going. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to step outside. I'm going to, not lose my mind. And then we're gonna do some coding. We're gonna do some programming. We're gonna build some swell. We're gonna do some AI refactoring. All right, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Why did the camera die? When did it die? Anyone know? Anyone know? Alright, well, we are back. So, I'm not going to continue reading this, because it is... okay, so I mean, like, I feel like I should, just because... it's something I feel like I should give commentary on, or just, like talk about, because it feels like it's just going to be something that... maybe it should be something that just is posted and goes by the wayside. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not... yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to, because I'm already very angry about many things. I know I'm not sharing my screen yet. So, what we are going to continue doing today. So, if you follow me on Blue Sky, or you're in the Discord, you have seen that I am not very happy with the current outcome of most of this application. It is I think for the most part it's fine. I think I've fixed certain things. There's a lot of things that I wouldn't have done, but the reason is that I generated a lot of this with anti-gravity. So I thought I would try it as a tool to generate, and it made some really bad code, and like most of the changes I've had to make are not like I had to fix the, like if we look at the changes I've had to make, it's that they're just like functional UI misunderstandings, right? Of, I mean, I guess this padding one, but oh yeah, like migrating to material, right? Like ensuring that like basic things were done were like the first steps that I had to do, which were that's not fun. That's not fun, right? So I've spent a lot of time tinkering with this app. So today is the day where I think we're going to take a little bit of analysis. I do have some changes that I made recently. It's all still happening on main. I haven't pushed this anywhere. It's just it's local for Shipathon so far. But the thing that I do like that has happened here is the whole like privacy lock situation. But here, let's launch the app and see what we're dealing with, just to give everybody an idea. It didn't crash, no. There's also like no previews, no like there's nothing. Like I'll have to spend like a good amount of time just building all the things that I would have built normally. So the general idea here is, where is, there we go. So we have this idea of like it's an addiction urge log, right? So if you have various addictive urges, then you can input them here. So you would hit this button, but when you hit this button, it basically presents you with a bunch of these tools which are not being populated right now, which is a problem. But when you hit this button, it basically presents you with the various tools that you might use, right? And then you can try another, you can say you're safe, and then it will prompt you to present or to input all the information, right? So the thing that I've been focusing on, especially over the weekend, is really ensuring that this is like encrypted to a certain extent, right? Since it is this is how we were going to do the database before, But since it is a local application, right? So I don't have any server that the things are going to, right? So everything is stored fully locally. There is kind of this flow that was built, and this is the way. This is the way. That's, I don't know why I said it like that. That's like Mandalorian, right? It's like one of the only Star Wars things I have not watched. So the way that I built it is, why is this so big? Oh. Okay. Anyways, so we have the key store. We have the what did I call it? I called it the. There's like the auth repository. Yeah, there's the database unlock use case, unlock database. So we do have this database object, which I think is probably not the best. That this is being exposed directly, because yeah, it's basically the unlock database use case that just has direct access to the database, which is not the way that I would want that to work. Is that it should at very least be like a use case this is again like the AI thing that I wouldn't have built it this way, but now I need to fix it. And I know I could have done this better with I don't know, skills or blah 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 blah, but I forget, did I send that email or not? Okay, so I guess it's this like database. No, this is not. The lock screen is what I wanted to look at. So the lock screen. See, now I feel like a crazy person. Why is this here? Okay, so we have the lock interactor, which the lock interactor, we shrink this down. The lock interactor has side effects of submitting PIN, so whenever we authenticate, I thought I moved all this. All right, let's fix this. Is there? No, let's just fix this. Okay, so what I have here is a weird system where it's an interactor. No, it's not a weird system. It's just something that I wouldn't have done myself. So Kodak says, "You're right, shouldn't be here. In my defense, you never told me. Next time I'll ask you before making assumptions." I know! Urgh. This is what I get for using anti-gravity. I think so. Like, I think the key thing. Also, hey, Fraser. Hey, it's been a while. Thank you. Hi. Good to see you. Like, I think this, like, starting a project with vibe coding, like using something like anti-gravity codecs, whatever. I mean, I used anti-gravity, but like starting a project with it, I think is the worst way to start programming, right? Like starting to code. Like it might get you started and then you can start fiddling with things, but it sets up so many bad systems. And I would say like what you should do is like what I would suggest like junior devs do now, I guess, is like start building the project yourself and then use AI to learn new things, maybe, right? Like, oh, I need this to happen, like how would, like, what would that work? And then and then copy pasting, like similar to how I would use Stack Overflow. But yeah, anyways, let's dive back. I've been thinking a lot about just like the limits and where I want to use AI, but in the next 5 years, there's going to be a lot of bad developers. It's going to be like, so I mean, there was like the injection of JavaScript into developers where like it was right around the time that I started getting into professional programming, but like before JavaScript, it was all like really hard CS and like fundamentals and like all that kind of stuff. And then JavaScript came around and it was like, oh my god, the Wild West. And I feel like this is going to be like that, but like 10 times worse. Which I don't want to say, you know, it's going to be like that, but 10 times worse. Yeah. I do think, yeah, I don't like JavaScript. Okay, so what did I have here? I had the, yeah, there's like the pen manager, come on. Oh, right, so I did create something else that I wanted to swap this out with. This would be the key store adapter. Maybe I just need to So what I did swap out was the SQL database. We still have biometrics off. Excuse me. The problem is that there's two code paths right now. There's this like pin auth. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna identify like the point at which I can really just extract this out. So we have these use cases. We have a database unlock use case, which directly references the database. So from here, right. So the unlock database use case. So this has direct reference to the database. What I was thinking about doing is right now we have this key store. So what I want to do is I want there to kind of be So the way that I'm trying to picture this in my head is that from the user's perspective, they log into the application, and then the database is locked because we don't have a passkey. So the user user hits the UI. This goes to realistically, the way that I want it to work is that it would try to create the database, or it would try to hit the database. But I think by default I can also just assume that the UI is locked. So for ease of use, let's do that for now. So I can make there be multiple triggers, right? So the first trigger will just be that the app is locked, right? And then we'll replace that later, because of course we will. So the user, it's the UI. Really, they just kind of point towards this idea of, well, it's like, what did I call it here? It's like pin auth or biometric auth. Oh, I did create this idea of auth. Which then presents back to the user, which presents to the key store, which, I mean, effectively just goes to the database, which then presents to the user themselves, right? So key store has the password. I don't know why this took me so long. Maybe it's because I'm running on like a very small amount of sleep. Okay, so this is not being called anywhere. I also hate the way that this... Alright, so let's check where... Right, and then this is where I was looking annoyed with the lock interactor, because what I want this to do... so it's really the main screen, right? So if I launch the app, if I launch the app, like this, like the whole thing, right now has the lock, right? So I don't like the idea that, I mean, like it is cool that the entire application is kind of wrapped within this like lock interactor, but and then the lock dictates. I also don't really have good authenticating or error states, and then the lock dictates these setup screens, which also I have no idea what these look like right now. And then otherwise it goes to main. This is where all of that happens. Okay. I'm starting to question myself something. What rabbit hole have I gone down, and what am I trying to fix? So let's focus on something that I actually want to get done today. I would like to, like the lock screen. I was trying to explain the lock screen, and I can't obviously because it's not well set up. But that structure that I had before is roughly what I want. So now, goddamn. Okay, so the way that I want to start diving into this a little bit more. Very good. Okay, so I want to fix these like tool management screens. So let's specifically start with the halt tips. So we have this tab. What I want to do, yeah, alt tips tab. There we go. So right now we have this list of all these items. Instead, what I want to do is create a selected category. No, that's fine. Items are just going to be there. So we're just going to have the state be a halt tip, but instead it is going to be a halt. So what I'm looking to do is, if I really wanted to pull this out, I'm looking to make like, whoa. Why is this? I don't know what happened to... I don't know what happened to my Excalibur menu. I'm trying to figure out if I like zoomed in the whatever, it's fine. So what I want to do is I want to build like basically cards, right? So for each item, build a card. Which will look... Also, don't think I want this like title there. But the idea is that for each emotion, you would have like a drop down or like an immediate like list of maybe the kind of like first three. So this would be like... And then it would show like eat some or consume protein. I don't want to like say eat something, that would be mean. Would not be mean, but you know. And then you would have that for each item, right? And then you could click in and do what's there. So that's how I would like to handle that. I don't know why that zoomed in so far. So what this will be... So I kind of want it to be like limited to 1, 2, or 3, right? So how do I want to model that? Do I want to model it as just forcing, say, like, lust. So we can do list of string with halt card. So that means that our halt tips would so this also isn't halt tips. Whatever. So now if we go to here, this is where we start failing a bunch. So So how do I want to handle this? So I've built this card system, and before I had this, I didn't build this, but there was this tab system across the top. But I want the number of cards to be expandable, right? So somebody could add a different emotion. Because right now it defaults to hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Could be like anxious, or like other things that somebody might want to respond to specifically. Oh. I just realized why the Be Right Back camera died, because I didn't have it plugged in. Haha. Okay, so I could have like an expand system where there's like a little like arrow down here or something like that that just says like whoop, and then you can or like add to it. The thing is that with this like kind of tab system, as it expands, so just let's say like users add more emotions or more things there, how would that grow? I think the answer is not well. So that's why I'm kind of looking towards this card system, but also like a list of things is not necessarily always the best answer. So the thing that just crossed my mind is right now we have a tab of like urge jar, play the tape, alt tips, and I also I plan to add more. I don't know what they would be, but like also adding custom ones or whatever. So maybe this should just be a list that is kind of like this expandable category system, right? So like you open a, like right now this is like the tool belt, let's say the tools screen, right? And then you, which is, it is kind of like what I've been referring it to it as. Right, so you have this like tool belt, and then you have the list of tools, which would be urge jar, play the tape, halt tips, and then you would click into one of those or tap into one of those, whatever. And then it would open up into its own individual page, the details. So the reason I'm thinking against it is I don't want, I mean, I guess I could make them orderable so somebody could sort them. But I don't like the idea of, like, the nice thing about this right now is that they're all treated equally. But again, as if I add more, like we're gonna have 4, 5, 6 with text and whatever, and that's just gonna get. So I think it needs to become that list, or at least for now, and then I can yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, with the card item, title, tips. This is still all going to be like internal to that tab. So I think the way I want to design this is different than the way that I want to do the whole list of card thing. So the way that I'll do this is when you probably tap into it, you'll get like a pop-up of adding or not. This is dope. This song. Okay. Right. I don't have a category anymore. So it's going to be I guess this will be category. Or it's going to be like emotion. Let's keep it all like relevant. So then we have the set selected category. That was dope. What was that? That was Prelude, Joshua Morse, and Game Chops. I should have those as a, like, whatever's playing as a ticker, but. See, I don't like this. I don't like this load data loaded system, because the way that I actually built this library is that there's a source that's available. So what you can do is you can get the halt tips repository, get all, and then you map them to the little halt tip state, and then. All right. items. Alt card item, right? And then it dot I'm not going to call it emotion. I mean, that's what I should call it in the database, right? Or wherever, like in the domain model. That's what I should call it there. Definitively. Sure. Yeah, of course this wasn't going to build. Why did I think it would? So set select category. We have a category. In this case, oh, right. We don't have the set select category anymore. I mean, I guess we do. Because like when you click the category, we want the ID to be set, and then we could also dismiss it there. So let's actually let's do like the full. Yeah. All right, and then so there's there's two ways I'm thinking of handling this, right? Like, so it's either I just show something fully in the UI, which works, but you know it's boring, and also there's issues with like testing, where like I won't be able to test like, hey, is this dialogue showing, or is this like full system going through? I mean, I guess the way that I could also approach this is that the how do I want to say this? The two ways I could approach this is that the UI could notify the interactor that, hey, the category was selected, and then the interactor could set something on the state. So in this case, it would do like a val right? Whatever that would look like, right? So like the selected ID, and then so that whenever the selected ID was not null, we would show a dialog, and then whenever the dialog was dismissed, we would say like, hey, selected ID null. Which is where I already don't like that, right? The reason I don't like that is because when you're just saying like, hey, it's basically the UI just saying like the selected ID is null or the selected ID is not null, right? So, and also I don't believe that the interactor. I don't believe that the interactor should have a understanding of the structure of the UI. So like if this screen is dedicated to just like handling the halt stuff, then it should understand like adding no, because then maybe I'm just like limiting it to CRUD operations, right? Because if I'm way overthinking this. I should just build. Why am I should just build. Okay, I'm gonna take a break because I've been overthinking. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I think the camera up there is dead. So you're gonna get maybe I can fix it. Ugh. Suck in. Okay, you're not getting be right back here, but phone has been acting up today. So yeah, it's just gonna be this. It'll be this. Be right back. Or no, don't do this. So this is a hint for, I haven't said it yet, but I'll be right back. Oh, no, you're over there. Normally. What? 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 All right, I am back. Okay. So, I think outside I came to the conclusion that I need to restart this project. So, Wednesday I'm going to do that. And that means, for the rest of today, I'm probably just going to play some POE. Because I'm not going to start it from scratch. I'm not going to start from scratch today, but yeah, nothing about this project feels good now. So I'm just gonna, yeah, we begin anew. I felt like I had a handle on it this weekend, and then the more I looked at it today, so also with POE, I'm kind of in this like weird situation where I have a build that is good, but I also have I have this Mjolnir build, right, and then I have this Mjolnir build, I guess, and then I also have this twistery build, which is much stronger, right? So I do need to level this up. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna level this up. So we're gonna run some abyss maps. Yeah. Yeah. Right, I was swapping out some abilities last time, and I still can't get my Herald. Still can't get my Herald up. Ew. Ew. Oh, Vortism. Hey. When updates happen in languages, how is it applied across the project? Like when TS upgrades from like when TypeScript upgrades. So usually that's handled with like a full-on build of the project, right? So like something like so you would normally have a version that is pushed with a specific website, or a specific version of that website, or a specific like version of that artifact, and then that gets pushed, right? But if you have things that communicate with each other, that's where it gets very complicated, and usually that gets but usually like a singular artifact is pushed with a specific version, and then that's how that is handled, right? So in most situations you don't have versioning issues where like something is 6 communicating with something that is 7, unless you're talking about like client server communications where like the server might be version 7 and your client might be version 6. In that case, you would probably version your API. Tests as well, yeah. Tests was work. the thing with tests is that they I mean, like, well, that's the thing, right? Like, is if you would do that with tests in the CI, then you would have n, like it would be an n+1 situation where you would have like a certain amount of instances of your application having to deal with a certain amount of other instances of your application, right? So usually I think the solution would be to really like ensure that especially your front end is versioned, and then your back end is versioned as well, so that you can like point certain, and then also you feature flag your front end so that if something happens to break with, let's talk about it. All right, why is this a little broken? No, we're not doing that anymore anyways. So, ooh. All right, I found what rectangle is. Okay, so you would have like, so if you have a, say, like front end, and then you have a back end, I'm assuming that this is what you're talking about. Or is it like if you have a front end with like different modules where like module 1 might be like TS6, and then module 2 might be TS7, and then these have to like somehow communicate with each other. No! Sorry. You still only see the game. This is what I've been drawing, right? So like, is this the idea that like you have a front end and a back end? Oh, I just need to, I'm just gonna quit POE. Now this should work fine. Okay, cool. So you have like a front end and a back end, and you have like two modules on the front end and back end with like TS6 and TS7? Or is it like you have front end and a back end that have to communicate with each other? Let's maybe say over like REST. I mean, like if say everything was on the latest version of TS6 and they decided to upgrade to TS. Oh, in that case, yeah. So very robust testing, and so like if you're saying like do a major update from like TS6 to TS7, how do you like ensure that nothing is broken within your application? Yeah, like hyper robust testing, and also, I mean there is a certain amount that you can lean on, like the developers of the application of the things, right? But also, you know, if it's I don't know the current versions of TS TypeScript, but like if it's TS 7.0, maybe wait a bit, especially if like this is something that you rely on quite a bit. I would say like companies that know how to upgrade do so very carefully, right? So it's understanding like when to upgrade and how to approach it, right? So like what are the benefits that you get, and what are the costs, right? So if there are any concerns with the upgrade, then maybe don't do that, right? But if you have testing, if you have good linting, if you have good. This is also, I don't know if this is controversial, but like this is also where I find tertiary testing helps, right? So like screenshot testing, right, where it's like, hey, let's take a screenshot of something and compare it one versus the other, right? Like, did it change, right? It's not testing like code paths or anything like that. It's just saying this is how it goes. But yeah, there is a certain amount of risk, but it really comes down to the benefits of doing so. I don't know what the benefits of TS6 versus TS7 are, but I would say especially if you are part of the group that is making the decision. No, I like answering these questions. I just gotta start the map again. That's fine. Yeah. Like when this isn't the exact same, but when I pitched upgrading from like XML to Jetpack Compose at a few companies, it was very much based on the idea of like, this is where the future is headed. All of our libraries are going to update to this. Any security patches are going to move there. There are a lot of benefits you get, but you know, maybe there's a lot of times where I was very aggressive about upgrading to things that I really enjoyed. But for example, Jetpack Compose, I convinced a company to upgrade to when it was in alpha, which I maybe shouldn't have done. But it you know, there's pros and cons. Wondering, because if I had a project in TS6 and decided to upgrade it to TS7 and everything broke, I mean, yeah, it in a lot of situations it does require a lot of in some situations it requires a lot of understanding. So I know for example in Kotlin, if something is going to be deprecated soon, you will get a notification like on the code. It will just like underline it in yellow and say like, hey, this is being deprecated soon. Eventually it's going to break. You should fix it, right? So I would assume that there's some sort of linter that does the same as well. Right, so it gives you at least like notifications about like how things are going to change or if things are going to be breaking changes. And when I worked at a SDK company for a while, and I worked at an SDK company for a while, and we did put a decent amount of effort into like identifying when we had breaking changes, right? Because that would help integrators. Is it Apollo client used in mobile dev? Yes, it is. For GraphQL, right? I haven't used it in quite some time, but that's also mostly because I just haven't really interacted with GraphQL in a while. Not because I don't want to, I just haven't. But yes, I have what's the alternative starting on mobile dev? Is it similar to how websites work with REST? So I've only ever used Apollo with GraphQL. So like if you're using a REST client, like in mobile dev, so it depends on the it depends. That's the universal software answer. So on Android, if you're doing like native Android, it's probably going to be something like Retrofit. If you're on iOS, I'm gonna sound so dated right now, probably, but like the last I heard, it was something called Alamo Fire, and then there's like Moya. I'm sure there's something that's significantly better now. Those are the things that I remember. And then like on Kotlin multi-platform, I use something called Ktor, right? Yeah, so Retrofit for Android, iOS. I'm gonna say those ones, but I used them like 8+ years ago. And then so I like, yeah, Retrofit Android, Alamo Fire, Moya for iOS, and then Ktor for Kotlin multi-platform. And honestly, like if I were to use, even if I were to use like a native Android networking library right now, I probably would use Ktor, right? Like even for native, even though it is like I use it right now mostly because it was KMP, but I would just use it on native now instead of Retrofit. I'm trying to think about why. I think more so just for my own consistency, but also, you know, I just don't. Ktor answers all the problems for multiple platforms, and then if I decide to make something move from Android to iOS, I at least have that opportunity. Would it be easy to learn native and Expo right if I know how to use them with websites? Like React Native? Oh, with React Native, I don't know. I don't know what the response, like with the that's anyways. But so I don't know how well React. Okay, fair enough. I don't know how well React maps to React Native. My understanding is that it reacts, sorry, it maps relatively well, but there are a lot of nuances that you might need to understand, and I don't know what those are. That's just what I've heard from React Native developers, right? Like even like there's no hover states or just especially if whatever application you're building has like hardware integration, like with cameras or anything. My understanding is that it maps well, but I don't want to say it maps perfectly because I don't know for sure. I guess is my safe answer. Like it's gonna map well, and then there's gonna be a couple of gotchas that are just gonna drive you insane probably for weeks on end. Right, that kind of thing. The same way with like Kotlin multi-platform, or I would actually I wouldn't say I actually haven't really run into that with KMP, but I do not. I will not say that iOS is on par with Android right now for especially Lift Pro. But I do recall that was the case with when I used Xamarin. Which hey, It's a learning experience. Die, you worm. Oh, hey PK, how's it going? How you doing? Minus 30% to all elemental resistances. What? What is this? Actually not a bad roll either. Why does this exist? Anyways, yeah, sure. There's this guide I'm following, and they're saying to teach React, Native, Expo, Apollo, and GraphQL. I mean, you were thinking about skipping the Apollo and GraphQL part. I don't like that's probably still very good to learn, right? Like I've used it in like a side project once or twice, and it also just taught me about GraphQL, which is, I'm not going to say it's like widely used, but it is used, right? It's, I wouldn't say it's a waste of time, if it, especially if it helps you like finish a project, right? We should be getting the dual chat now. Yes, it worked. No, that's fair. That's fair. Like you would rather learn something that was used by a lot of people, though. Like I completely agree. I would just, if you don't know anything about it, I guess like this is the thing I want to say. Like if you don't know anything about it, then like getting it done is significantly better than not getting it finished, right? So like even if it's not necessarily the most widely used things, you can also like learning about GraphQL. Like I know enough about both to say that you're gonna learn a lot about how networking works, and that's really the important part, I guess, is my point. But hey, you do you. Sorry, unsolicited advice. Expo is used a lot. Yes, yeah. I had an interview recently where I had to use Expo. Yes. Expo is very widely used for React Native projects, right? Ah! No. Export React Native. I mean, hey, that is like slightly in a world of mobile that I don't know a ton about. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't have like incredible answers, but those are great places to start. Woo! No problem. So maybe. So I've decided to abandon the vortism. I mentioned, I don't know if you're still there, but I mentioned you asked a while ago like how like my suggestions on AI and stuff like that, and especially for like junior devs. And I think I said like use it as a tool, not a solution. And I think like that sentiment is still true, but I had a, let's see. Basically, there's a project I was working on before switching to POE that I not heavily used. I guess I used anti-gravity to generate it with, or at least to like start it with, and I would say the code that I got was very bad. Like it functioned, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was not something that I felt confident with or happy with. So I would say I have a new answer if you're still there, and that is don't use it. Maybe use it to, like, if you're going to use it, like maybe use it to like analyze certain projects or understand the structure of certain projects and ask it questions about those. So I'm going to be a little bit selfish right now and say like pull LiftBro, like pull the code from LiftBro and use AI to ask it questions about how my code base works and how, like, these same questions you might ask me, although I love it when you. But if you're in the moment and you need like an immediate answer, that's a good way of asking too. Just like, hey, why might this have been done this way, right? Versus using it to actually write code, and like you should be writing the code yourself, I would say. Yeah. Oh no. No, not great. I'll grab this thing. I don't really know how that. I guess when I threw my hammer, it triggered the Thunder God's Wrath. Oh. Okay, so we're restarting the project tomorrow. The plan is... So we're still going to do the relative structure that we have right now. So, you know, presentation, domain, data layer, all that jazz. I will probably copy a good chunk of the code over, especially the domain layer at this point. But, I need just a little bit more mana regen. Like if I could do like a hit every dodge roll or something like that, I think that would be fine. Cool. That was this, right? Yes. Sure. Let's try and get this. Let's be dangerous and try a 6. Yellow 6, in fact. A rare 6. Okay. Oh, geez. I don't remember this map at all. Or like this in the main campaign either. When this build pops, it pops. Like I'm just teleporting around like crazy. On the time of my life. Swapped me. Shit. No, I don't want to do that yet. I'll go back here. I want to complete the abysses first. Oh, come on. Oh. I just gotta fight a Chimera. Okay, cool. Come on. Eat my shorts. Where are the other abyssal points? Ugh. Okay. At least I found it quick. Alright, that's that. Oh, I hate this boss. With this build. I do so little damage. Please take more damage from me. Fuck. No, come on, come on, come on. Get out. Alright, at least we're down to health now. Nope. No, 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 no. Alright, need to heal. Bosses that move a lot are the bane of my existence. Especially ones that turn into tornadoes. Oh. Maybe I just need to get him to not move. I mean, hey, that worked. All right. All right, all right. These maps are going well, and I think I might have, just eat my words there. But we're gonna keep going. But I'm gonna take a quick break. That worked well. All right, I'm just going to. Oh, come on, camera. Yawn. It's giving me nothing but problems, but it's like one of my favorite phones in existence. Like this, the Pixel, the first Pixel, Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, it's working. Just don't want it to die. All right. Be right back. So I'm not gonna lie, there is a significant chance that the power goes up. There's a rolling thunderstorm coming through. One sec. Ugh. Excuse me. Gish Bluey. No, 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 no. Damn. Hear that? Oh, God. I don't need an Abyss tablet right now. Because I'm grinding out some abysses, if you catch my saying. Catch my saying, if you know what I mean? I don't need to sleep. Well, I need to make some Pack Guard Pro. And then I'll sleep. Ah! That's what we making for dinner. I should just pick up. So I'm like not getting enough resources for crafting, especially with this this Mjolnir build. Oh, I apparently missed a... Oh, right, I remember. I was running away from here because it was terrifying. It was terrifying. Oh, shit. I need a better life flask. Why can't I click things? Oh. It was like hyper frozen. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of lasers to my face, and I surprisingly did not die. Maybe this build is a little bit more survivable than I think when I... I don't just like run face first into things. Okay. Oh. Come on. Shit. Hey dude, you good? Whoa! Oh. Okay, so damage shocks. There's ice crystals. There's also seemingly spores. Come on! One of them stuns? Oh, exploding corpses. Exploding corpses. I don't need gauntlets because I need these. Famous last words. I'm just gonna go back to town. I'm just gonna go back to town. I feel like that's the smart move. Oh no, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead! I got stuck. Alright, well, it's been a good stream. I think I'm actually going to call it there. I mean, I have to pick another map and everything. So, thanks everybody for watching. I know we didn't get exactly done what we wanted today, but I read through a very painful article. We looked through a code base, which I realize I have no clue what's going on. So I'm just gonna get rid of it, and we're gonna start again tomorrow. And like, I'm not gonna start on stream tomorrow. I'm gonna start again tomorrow, and then we'll kind of be somewhere on Wednesday. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and yeah, see you all Wednesday. I will also be putting out a video sometime this week that is kind of like, it's not like the DPAL AI policy, but it's more so just kind of like how I specifically use AI in this whole process, which from like software development to the videos that come out on the channel. But anyways, see you all on Wednesday, or see you another time. But bye 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 bye.